for your birthday, Sarah?
Oh, yeah, next Tuesday.
Actually, your birthday's not too far away, is it, Sarah?
It's Tuesday, next Tuesday. That's what they said. What are you getting for your birthday? Are you going out in the piss? I'm like, fuck. Going out to the beach for a walk with the dogs.
Yeah. I know, don't worry, I know we're live now. We're 26 seconds in. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Monday night show of Mauls, Balls and All, the breakdown. Tonight we're joined by Peter Martin, our usual suspect of Len Scarrow Two-Tone, Matt Boland, and for the first time on our Monday night show, a regular you haven't seen in a while, Sarah Duffy. How are you, Sarah?
All good. I'm in great form, and I had the pleasure of going to the Leinster game at the weekend. So that made it even better, sweet, and even better for me, really. So I was only too delighted to come back on, and it has been a while, lads. Family and whatnot, and other commitments take over, and I'm delighted to be here. Great to see everyone. Great to see everyone.
Since I have you there now, handy, Sarah, do you want to go first on your review of the match?
I mean, what leadership, first and foremost, Jack Conan displayed. Just such a worthy captain. He was outstanding, and I think he orchestrated everyone to outmuscle the Bulls. It was their game for the taking, and as he said, like, the lads put their heads where you wouldn't put a shovel, and they were just man on man. And they deserve to win. It was a long time coming, as a Leinster supporter said. It was so long time coming. It was frustrating to watch at times, but they knew it was going to be physical against the Bulls. They knew it, and they really did. They put it up to them from the get-go. They put it straight up to them and got stuck in. And I just thought it was incredibly physical to watch. Like, one of the better games I've watched. I mean, as some of the shows I've done, which is the physicality is all. I'm all about the hard hits, absolutely stuck in, moment by moment, and it was brilliant. It was really.
Yeah, it's about getting those big hard tackles into tapes here.
100%. If you don't hit them hard, go home. Go on. Good luck.
No,
they were brilliant.
But there was 19-0 up at half-time, 32-7 full-time. Did you honestly see that score coming?
No, I didn't. I thought it'd be closer. Given that the Bulls have done so well in the last 2 seasons as well. I thought it'd be a lot closer. I don't think even neutral supporter saw that coming. They laid it all out. You know, and getting off the line from the start. They didn't let up, and you could see that. I mean, Jack Conan was completely bollocksed talking on the camera at the end of the match, but they didn't lose focus, and I think that's the main thing, especially in a final situation. They didn't lose focus, and you could see as I said before, he was such a worthy captain and leader, and he didn't let them lose focus, not for a second. And I hate to say it, but you know, Jameson Gibson Park, he wasn't on the field. He wasn't missed, and I mean that in a very respectful manner. The lads really did so well without him, even though he's a massive asset to the team as well.
Yeah. Croke here saying, evening all, from a very happy Leinster supporter. Atmosphere in Croke Park was amazing. You were there, Sarah. Do you agree with that?
It's that kind of saying you go back to, if you could bottle it and keep it. It was absolutely brilliant, and everyone was on board. You felt like the lads who didn't play, you were making a contribution as a massive supporter. Like we all prepped them as same way the squad would have prepped them, you know, and they couldn't have done that without the atmosphere and the support. And I have to say that it was a credit to every single supporter that was there creating the atmosphere for the lads to play.
Yeah, Matt, you were at the match as well Saturday, weren't you?
I was indeed, yeah.
So what are your thoughts on the game from your great seat, I suppose?
Well, look, I mean, I'm being honest, I was nervous going into this game, you know, and looking at that Bulls pack, you know, and what they did to the Sharks the week previous, I was like, you know, that's going to be a tough day at the office for Leinster, but fuck me, like after 5 minutes, I wasn't nervous. Do you know what I mean? They were just, as Sarah said, they just went, you could see the urgency on the pitch from the get-go, and you knew that their mindset was right and they weren't leaving that pitch without a fucking win. And as Sarah said, like, Jack Conan led from the start. He got the first try, and it was easy after that. You know, like, it looked easy. I'm sure it wasn't, but the lads put in, like, if there was ever a game that you wanted them to have a perfect performance, that was pretty much it. I mean, there was only two real players on that pitch that really didn't do much for me, and that was Jimmy O'Brien and Gary Ringrose. I thought they were quite quiet themselves. They weren't their normal selves, but the rest of the team were just fucking phenomenal. And I can tell you, Sam, I'd say he's silenced a lot of his critics as well, because he had a really good game. You know, he missed one easy kick probably, but you know, you could see by him, he was different. He was tackling, and he actually made some really big fucking tackles on a couple of forwards as well, which I thought, like, I honestly thought they were going to target him big time and steamroll through that fucking 10 channel, but they didn't, you know. And fuck me, like, Luke McGrath kicked the ball over and Jordy Barrett, like, what a fucking try that was. And what a way for him to be sent off. Like, you could hear the crowd when he scored that, and then at the end when he went up to get his medal. I've never heard anything like it in my life. And I'm telling you, if we ever want a proper Leinster fans to turn up for a match, it needs to fucking piss rain, because all them wet wankers will stay at home then, and they won't be there fucking annoying us. Because I swear to God, they were proper Leinster fans, and everybody was screaming and shouting. It could have been a full stadium. It could have been 82,000 people there, and it was only 46. You know, technically just over half filled, and it was unreal. The place was buzzing from the start.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that was a record crowd result for a URC grand final as well. From my experience.
I thought there was more there, to be honest with you. I thought there was more at the game.
Yeah,
the upper tiers looked like it wasn't full, but it certainly looked like more than 46,000 there. That's the full game for the books game.
Yeah.
What did you Jay?
Commenting here by Peter says, before the game, it was all about scrum and how that would play out. Prior to kickoff, Bulls 162 scrum penalties, Leinster 54. Bulls conceded 20 scrum penalties, Leinster 35. Fortunately, the expected Bulls from dominance didn't materialise.
No,
that way.
He's spot on, because, like, I honestly thought that was going to be a tough day for the forwards, but it was brilliant. And Tom Clarkson up front was fucking unreal. He had a whopper game. And Andrew Porter, like, you know, we all know Dan Sheehan was going to be a fucking star at that game, and he was. But having the two boys beside him on form, you could just see it, you know, through the whole fucking pack. You know, when it was funny, because I was re-watching the highlights there, because obviously you don't see everything when you're in the stadium. And Josh Van der Flyer's try, you could see when they were mauling over, right? One of the South African lads was trying to pull the fucking scrum down, and he actually separated it, and it just opened the gap for Van der Flyer, and he just ran through and scored a try. It was class. It was just if there ever wanted a perfect performance, that was it. And it's like Jake White said it after. He said, like, you know, that's what the Leinster fans wanted, and that's what they knew the team were capable of. And he goes, I'm just fucking raging it was against us, like, in the first half. He said that was the perfect first 40 minutes.
Nice comment from Christopher Goffin here, saying nice to see you back as well, Sarah.
Thanks, Chris.
Let's see. Before I come to you, Peter Martin, just two more comments in here. Mike Sheedy, Leinster team, very strong, best team, great win. Also, Simon Old Clare to have 2 medals in the URC, first Munster, second Leinster on the day. Crokin here as well, saying Bulls horns came off and Willie LaRue throwing his ties out of the pram.
That was absolutely priceless.
Yeah.
Absolutely priceless. Fucking hell. What a little... Oh, Jesus.
Kicking the hole if it was your child.
He was only short of stamping his feet a couple of times and fucking throwing his arms up in the air as well. Like.
Yeah. Peter Martin, I'll come to you. Leinster 32, Bulls 7. What are your thoughts on that game?
Well, the Bulls didn't turn up when they weren't allowed to turn up. That's basically it. As what Matt and Sarah have said already, like Jack Conan set the tone, the physicality, and it just basically blunted what the Bulls bring. That's what the Bulls actually play, of all the South African teams, they play the most basic, I would argue, an out-of-date game. They play a very out-of-date game. They play a game that's spaced around 20 years ago, a bit like Jake White himself. It's all based around the forwards. There's no nuance. There's no sleight of hand. There's no intelligence around how they move the ball in the forwards. The ball, when you see one of their pack picking the ball up, you know he's coming to you. There's not going to be an out the back pass. There's not going to be a tip on pass. It's straight at you. And like that just basically pulled into the lens. That just played into Leinster's hands. If the Bulls had a little bit of nuance, a bit of intelligence about how the way they're going to move the ball when they carried, it might have been a different story for Leinster. But the fact that it was just basically brainless, out-of-date rugby from the Bulls there all week, and the Bulls wouldn't have got in. Because every time they met them on the gain line, their meters gained, I'd say, not with having Ron looking at the stats, but the meters gained, they were stopped literally on their tracks so many times and knocked back on a few others. They just had such slow ball, the Bulls had. They could do nothing with it. Then they gave it to Leroux. Leroux made a balls of kicking it, and we saw what happened. It was just, there was nothing. There was absolutely nothing Jay White or the staff could do.
Yeah. I'm trying to look here to stats. Yeah, it's just nothing here about meters gained or anything like that, from what I'm seeing here of it anyway. But the one big thing, if you look at one side of it is, Leinster had 11 clean breaks.
And they had one. So that's unreal. Yeah. 11-1. It was ridiculous. Everything, all the rest of the stats were basically even. But geez, that just stands out. 11 breaks to 1. That'll tell you where the game was at.
Leinster had 374 meters and Bulls had 211.
Oh, gee. That's a fair gap. That's a fair fucking gap.
Yeah. Now that's just according to that fucking Ultimate Rugby app, so I'm sure it's fairly accurate. But
just hello to Gregor Galway as well.
Hello, Greg.
Actually,
Peter,
there's a good stat. There's a really good stat. Leinster had 7 clean breaks. Bulls had 0.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, it's actually, according to URC thing, it was Leinster had 11 clean breaks and the Bulls had 1.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, but according to you, they'll all vary. But
depends obviously on how you're defining a clean break.
Clean break as well,
Yeah. Peter being there saying probably the worst game I've seen Leroux play. Ger Brennan was replaced with grandeur, was replaced with grunt, flair, with fierce physicality. Coachy had 10 breaks for a total of 1 meter. Jesus, he was nullified. Absolutely nullified.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That sums it up.
Yeah, sorry. He corrects himself here. He had 10 carries, not breaks. So it's in 10 carries, 1 meter made. Lane, I ask you for your thoughts on the Leinster Bulls game.
Well, obviously, as a Munster fan, I'm in mourning. Smurfs have won another fucking trophy. Secondly, the only Munster man, well, apart from the host here, but you just be expecting, Danny, the 3 Leinster supporters to be there in all their Leinster finery with, a fucking URC replica trophy behind them. At the very least, Danny, we'd be going fucking ballistic if this was us.
Listen, Len, I swear to God.
Now you said it, Len. That's exactly the difference. That is exactly the difference.
I'd have loved to have my Leinster jersey on, but I'm probably had to burn it because I got fucking destroyed. I'd say the smell of it now and fucking knock out a fucking small village.
Is that true?
What's that?
I believe your colleague that went to the match with you was wearing his Munster jersey, even though he was shouting for Leinster.
That's why I ditched him down in the Pavo section and went up to premium instead.
Jesus, some mate you are. No, look, the game.
Here, listen, he told me he was cheering for Leinster. I was expecting a Leinster jersey. When he turned up in a red one, I said, "Good luck to you, pal."
He could have worn at least something blue, like Jesus wept.
Look, he was shouting for Leinster. That's the main thing.
He was, to be fair.
The game was fantastic, right? Shortly before kickoff, we heard Gibson Park was out, and everybody's reaction was, "Oh fuck!" And McGrath came in, had a fantastic game, absolutely. Then Gunn replaced McGrath, and Gunn scores a try. And at the end, it was just everything went right for him, but it wasn't by accident. In all fairness, it was Conan's try after 5 minutes. This is another thing that they've had a few blips during the season, right? But Leinster have started this kind of crack of scoring very, very early in games. And if any of you've played poker tournaments, there's always one guy when you sit down at a poker tournament and he'll go all in first hand, regardless of what he has. It's basically to make, right? And put everybody else on notice. And Leinster have been doing that all season. They're getting in with an early try. They're forcing that early try. I think it's part of the design of Liam Barr's plan. But it puts teams on notice. And all of a sudden, you're on the back foot and they're kind of shocked. I think they've got tries in 2 and 3 minutes over the season. Yeah. They come in 2 and 3 minutes with tries. So that was the start of that. Like Pete said, the Bulls game. Look, we've been critical in the average defence all season, and the system. I don't particularly like it. There's a lot of Leinster supporters don't particularly like it. There's a lot of Irish supporters don't particularly like it because of the influence it has on the Irish team. But by Jesus, it worked on Saturday. But look, you can have any system in the world that you want, but you need the players to implement it. And I think the Leinster players, every one of them. I know you thought maybe Ringrose and O'Brien were slightly quiet, but look, 1 to 23, there wasn't a man wanting on that pitch on Saturday. They hit them. Bulls just did not get a chance to play. They just nullified them completely. Now, it doesn't help, as Peter said, the Bulls game is very direct, crash rugby, up the middle, and that just plays into that rush defence. That rush defence is probably made for big physical teams with very one-dimensional teams like the Bulls. It tore them apart. I did expect it to be closer. As Pete said, no nuance, no news, no plan B with the Bulls. I expect a closer match. They just didn't bring it. They weren't allowed. They didn't allow them to play. They were in fucking shock. At one stage, Vinnie Lear was fucking cross-field kick to Goosen in his own 22. They were shocked. They didn't know what to fucking do with the thing. They couldn't get out of their own fucking half. It was, a fantastic game. Joking about the Munster end of it, it's great to see an Irish team win it over a South African team. As I said on the group, lesser of the two evils, I suppose. But go on. We'll give you this one.
Peter in here says, if Munster win a coin toss, he'd be delighted. Peter, just so you know, you spelled Mayo wrong. It's Mayo, not Munster. Okay? That's where he made a mistake. Sorry to say that, Peter.
We need to get Peter on live here.
Yeah, we might throw it in Thursday night maybe. Let's come back to you on this one. Peter Burke, what about Jake White's comments post-match that he'd love to have what Leinster have, referring to the amount of Irish internationals on the team, and also the fact they can bring someone like RG on, or into the squad, I suppose. What do you reckon of his comments?
Well, look, the Sharks had a shitload of internationals, South African internationals, and the Bulls bet the Sharks. So, fucking suck it up.
Exactly.
Yeah. Pierre Martin, your thoughts on Jake White's comments?
Yeah, he's just an old whinger. That's it. Yeah. Nothing else really to be said. He's a reputation for whining and moaning. So leave him at it. Leave him at it.
Matt, your thoughts on that?
Well, he had to say something, didn't he?
Yeah, that was
pretty much it. It's pointless what he said. Because if Bulls had a fucking beaten Leinster, he would have been saying something else.
Yeah,
you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. Sometimes, especially with some of the South African lads, online, you want to hear them online, and just fucking. There was two Bulls lads sitting behind me in the stadium, right? One of them was fucking grey cracking. He was there having the banter, and the other lad just kept on saying, "Oh, we have 4 World Cups, you know." I'm like, listen, sorry, is this a World Cup we're playing in now? It's fucking club rugby, you muppet.
Look, about 50% of the supporters are like those dolls where you pull the string, and that's the only phrase that they have. That's it.
Literally, and he was such a windy fucker as well, because he went off at half time. He was fucking all disgusted and annoyed and pissed off, and he ran off because he saw me coming over. And I said to his mate, I said, "Here, what's wrong with your man? Why is he fucking like he was shouting loads there when a couple of lads, like I was riling him up as well, of course, obviously, but I do you know when they were looking at the team was looking at the eye gouging thing, right? I was fucking roaring, going, "Fucking send him off. He's only a prick anyway." And he was getting really fucking emotional about that and all. It was just fucking hilarious. But he didn't want to talk to me then after that. He ran away.
Oh, Matthew. Anyway, share your thoughts on Jake White's comments.
Look at it. If he wouldn't be Jake White if he didn't make the excuses. Like they didn't have what's that player? Hanekom. I can't even say his name properly, but go way out of that. Like the bullshit he came out with. You let him on. They didn't match. Leinster matched him in size, in power, in weight, aggression. You know, the variety Leinster have shown have been far greater. And that was the bottom line. Somebody just need to sit him down, put your arm around him and say, there, you're all right. Go have a quiet word with yourself in the corner there, you fucking idiot. You got it wrong. And if you don't soak it up and you can't get it right every time.
Yeah.
You know, it was either that or he just needed a quick rabbit punch to the throat and tell him to get on with it.
Jeez, he's looking at brutal.
Shirley thought in there said Jake made a total disrespectful twat of himself, slating his own squad.
Yeah. Easy to blame the players. Yeah.
Yeah. Sarah, I'll come back to you on this one. Cullen and Pendergast seem to be under an awful lot of pressure for the last couple of weeks, maybe throughout the season. Though in terms of results, in terms of performance and stuff like that, do you think that the tactics Cullen brought out and the performance Pendergast had, do you think that shut an awful lot of people up?
Oh, 100. Like as Matt said earlier, like a true Leinster supporter or a true rugby supporter can see that you don't get your tactics overnight. You don't get them in 1 or 2 training sessions. And Cullen had it down to a fine art. He really, really did. Like, and Sam Prendergast, as Matt said, he was milling the biggest forwards out of it. He didn't give a shit. It was, wrap yourself around and take him down and get up and do it again. He was just methodical. He was brilliant. He was absolutely brilliant. And I had fair play to Jack Conan in his TV interview. He said at the very end, it should silence a few critics as well. Yeah. I was watching the highlights of it and I saw it on the news as well. And he did. He shut people up. He was living in the boots of Sexton and all this for months and months and months. And he was supreme. He stood out a country mile over everyone, I thought. And then they took him off, and I have a bit of a panic station moment when Ross Byrne comes on. And the best to look to him in his retirement because I wouldn't rate him. But that's just my personal opinion. And when he came on, I thought, don't fuck it up. But he didn't. He only came on the dying moments. And look, you got your medal, and well done. You wore the jersey there, well done. Mind that door doesn't hit you on the way out. Good lad. That would be
Matt, your thoughts on Pendergast and Cullen and their doubters?
Oh, well, look, I already said. I said it already. He with the performance Sam put in at the weekend, he silenced all his critics because he's been getting an awful lot of flack, and look, rightly so. I mean, he has missed a lot of tackles, and he has been getting steamrolled, and maybe he was just getting his tackle height wrong, or he was just fucking getting it wrong. But he fucking shut them all up at the weekend because he was smashing every fucking Bulls player as soon as he got a chance, and you could see the urgency in him. And as Sarah said, he'd fucking hit one, put him down, he'd be straight back up on his feet. And, you know, fair fucks to him. And look, of course, Leo has silenced the critics as well because he's finally won something in the last 4 years, you know. And we've said this before, you know, he is doing something right by getting to the finals and getting to the last stages. It was just that last bit, the final bit that he had to unlock, and he certainly unlocked it at the weekend because it was a near perfect performance.
Yeah, Peter saying there, Sam desperately needed that performance to shut up the detractors.
Look, he's right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm delighted for him because, you know, unfortunately, these are elite players, professional players. They stay away from the media anyway, you know. And as Rob Henderson says, you're able to take it, where you go in and have a look, and you take it all with a pinch of salt. But it's the positive ones you need to look at and take away them rather than the negative ones, because with social media, it's always positive and negative. So, you know, and as Rob said before, like if you're not able to take it, just don't engage with it at all, you know. So they know what they're at, you know. They're not going to be on social media fucking listening to fucking keyboard warriors with user 27453 fucking typing "you're a bollocks," you know.
Yeah. So is that your username? That's your spare username, is it, Matt?
My username is Poland on everything, you fucking donkey.
Ah, yeah. And mine is Ask Me Bollocks 27437. Shirley talked in there again. Respect to them, he came to a different level, and as a crowd, we showed him support. Peter Martin, do you think that Pendergast and Cullen have shut up the detractors for the meantime after that performance the weekend?
Well, I'm just looking at the stats for Prendergast for the entire season here. Again, courtesy of Ultimate Rugby. He's 61% tackle success. So he's, you know, we'll just leave that. I think that speaks for itself. Look, he's 21. It's his first full season as a pro. He's going to get better. I think it's like, you know, the fact that he tackled better in this game than he's probably done most of the season. You know, he basically got he just put his body on the line. Like, effectively, he bought into the fact that he can't hide. He's going to have to tackle whatever is going on in his head as regards the, you know, tackling. Look, there are just those players out there who just aren't good at tackling. He's one of those, perhaps. But he had to show up. He had to basically be more than a speed bump on Saturday, and he did it. I still maintain that the Nienaber system doesn't necessarily suit Leinster. We'll see. You know, I think it's a stay of execution, is my view, for Cullen and Nienaber. Look, at the end of the day, it's the players who won it. You know, I didn't see any major, you know, departure from the way Leinster played all season. They just basically, it was all heart, as already been stated. It's all the heart and soul went into the game. It was a physical contest, and they just were able to stop the physicality of their opponents. You know, that's it. Look, it's the season has ended in the right way, and we'll see what next season brings.
Yeah. Lynn, your thoughts on Pendergast and Cullen shutting up their the people, how suppose, at them at the moment? How do you think?
I don't think I could sum it up any better than Pete. In all fairness, there, that was a really honest summation of the whole thing. Sam had a good game. He needed a good game. One swallow doesn't make a summer. I honestly believe that the lad, I don't think he likes tackling. That's my own opinion. As Pete said, he went out there, he put in the tackles. Actually, one of the biggest cheers in the stadium coming across on the TV was that tackle he completed there about the 70th minute, I think it was. There was a huge cheer for it. He put in a fantastic tackle. So the lad can tackle. Like, his brother Keane is down in Connacht, and he's an unbelievable tackler. I just think he's, he doesn't like tackling. I think. But look, obviously they've worked with him. They've had a word with him, and he did. He put his body on the line on Saturday, and all the better for it. Hopefully, because we do need. Look, we have Crowley, we have Prendergast, we have two good 10s. They both need to work on elements of their game. Sam's kicking is better. Crowley's has gone through a really bad patch. just apart from the game, I'm just overall for Ireland. They both need to have things they need to work on, and it would be great if they can work with them and get them up to a level where the both of them are competing at international level, like for like. On Cullen thing, look, I like Cullen. I always like Cullen. There's a humility about him. Even as a Munster supporter, he's a good guy. He was under pressure, and I think if things have gone the other way, there's no doubt there was already calls for his head prior to the final. There were a lot of Leinster fans weren't happy. Well, look, a URC is not an easy thing to win. Neither is a Heineken Cup. And he's got to the finals. And we have this whole chokers thing and what have you. But, one team's going to lose the finals, as simple as that. They came out on top. I again agree with Pete. There might be a stay of execution there for him. I wouldn't like to see him go. Maybe what my biggest fear is, quite honest with you, is Ian Arbor now. They've won a trophy, and they're just going to double down. And I don't like the brand of rugby that he plays. I'm just personally. I think it took an awful lot away from the Leinster attack that we're used to in previous seasons. They were a joy to watch. They had a lot of flair. Look, maybe that'll come back. They've vetted into this system now. Maybe it'll come back. I don't honestly know. But look, I'm glad Leo's still there, to be quite honest with you. Me and Arbor, not so much. No offence to the chap. I'm sure he's a lovely guy. We had him down in Munster. He didn't do it for Munster.
It's been more injured than anything else, Simon.
Sorry, Danny?
Simon, was it? More time injured than anything else?
Well, look, that's a different story. But Brandon, I know people have said, and I've said this before. People have said that look, we didn't have the players to implement the style of rugby that they were trying to play. Maybe so. But on the flip side of that, I thought Barrett had an absolutely fantastic game. He was just, and that guy, and I think a lot of people have said it on the group and what have you. A lot of people didn't actually, they knew he was a great player, right? But only when you see them, and this is no offense to anybody in the Leinster team or anybody in players in the URC, but Barrett is just on a different level to most of the players in the URC. I mean, his try in the first half, the second try, he took that was nearly a volley mid-air that he took it. It wasn't just a fly hack down the pitch. Yeah. And he chased it. He was just a joy to watch. And that's the thing about the guy. He came into a system that Ian Arbor had implemented. Right? I reckon you could drop that guy into any team in the world playing any system of rugby, and he will adapt in a matter of 4 or 5 training sessions and will be able to play and account for himself. Absolutely fantastic. He reminds me I know he's not a permanent signing, but I will put him up there with the likes of Dougie Howlett for Munster and say Ruan Pienaar for Ulster. He just made a huge impression. I know they have Rika Ione coming in next season. I know he's more of an outside centre and a winger, but I think a lot of people, you just see the place in the hearts of Leinster supporters, I say, forever after the performances that he's had over the season for them.
Yeah. Even Dar Weston was saying here as well. He said, imagine what could have been if we started Geordie against Southampton. That's how far that cry.
Yeah.
But there's another comment here. Shirley Taunton, said the atmosphere was incredible, continually behind the lads. If only it was every match. Maybe it's because we had real fans there, less corporate tossers, families, reasonably priced tickets.
Yeah.
Matt, Sarah, would you agree with that?
I love the old corporate tossers that are there. They're great. As Matt said, you have to take the piss out of them 100%. And when they start ignoring you, that's when you kill the fuckers with kindness. Kill them. Oh yeah, no, great game, isn't it? You kill them, and they're like, if she doesn't stop, like, yeah, no, it's all good, isn't it? It's great, and they're winning as well. Yeah, which is even better, and they're ready to hit you. You're like,
Yeah.
enjoy the game, Paul. You enjoy the game. Keep doing your makeup and your nails and your lip gloss. Stadium. Anyway, good luck.
That's only the men.
And that's only the lads, yeah.
Another one you hear from Darren says, Jesus said you need serious work and you're giggity today. Len is giving you gold there and you're not reacting. Yeah, that's for Thursday night, Darren. This is a Monday show. We're more highbrow, okay?
Yeah, we're not
So
children.
we're
You're more than welcome, Darren.
yeah. Actually, there's no comment here from Dara, but I'm going to get to that later on because I want to kind of talk about Lions versus Argentina. And Sarah, I'm going to have to come to you on that one, all right? With Dara's comment, all right?
Okay.
Let's
What was
see.
it comment?
Let's see. There's one here. Joe Brennan, every great player has one game where things just click, and that's the game they look back on when they retire and say, that's where it all changed. Maybe Saturday was Sam's game. Maybe it was where he needs to up his level that little bit farther for him, to kick on and stuff like that.
It's a bit early for him to retire, lads.
Yeah, Jesus, he's only
21, yeah. But I suppose, from the perspective of a retired player, every player looks back at one particular game. And
Look, he'd always have that in the memory bank, in fairness.
Yeah, first major trophy for him as well, anyway. Alan Conlon was in here. I was sitting in the Hogan and missed half the game in a daze after paying €48 for 4 single burgers and $27.50 for 2 Fantas and 2 pints.
Jesus Christ.
They saw you coming, Alan.
Hip flask, lad.
Yeah, bag of cans. That's all I'll say.
Yep.
Yeah. There's ways around everything, Alan. I'm afraid to say that to you. But yeah,
Like an amateur, Danny, an amateur.
Bring your child and with them with a bag. They never search the
Yep,
needs.
rucksack here.
Yeah.
Care Bear rucksack. Fill it up with cans. There you go. And the bottle of vodka.
Alan, follow me for more parenting tips.
Yeah.
Bring the kids. Yeah. There's
Every
going outside. There's the bag of gin. Don't drop it. Be careful.
If you drop that, swear to God.
Yeah, I'll drop you. Is that the parenting advice, is it, Sarah?
There'll be
You
3
drop the gin, I'll drop you.
There'll be 3 hits. Me hitting you hitting the ground, and the ambulance hitting 90. That's all I'd say to them.
No one misses it, Sarah's gin.
I swear
It's a common fact.
not anyone from Tucson on this.
We're joking. Sarah was
Oh,
joking.
Sarah, are your kids gin mules, are they?
I'm a child welfare officer as well, I swear to God.
Speaking of good jokes, Sarah comes in when there's a good joke. Any chance Connacht would fancy swapping Ninibar for Stewart? Can't believe he missed out on him.
Wishful thinking, Dara.
You need Grennan on for that one.
Yeah, I think Brennan might be best off replying to that one. In fairness, though, I think Connacht have suffered enough.
You don't want
with Brennan's bad jokes. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I think Ninibar would sort that out. Maybe they should sort it right. Stewart definitely being primed as Andy's replacement.
Jesus.
What? Don't take that out. I need to get my glass.
It's humor, bro. It's humor. We're 80s kids. Me, Sarah, Matt, we're all 80s kids. That's how we were raised. That's what we were told when we were kids. This is in the days before Tispa and all that sort of crack, right? So, what we're doing was compared to what we were told in the 80s compared to now. Okay? Am I right?
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, we're still living in the 80s. Go on, work away.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to compare the past with the present, I think I can get up there. Okay, I think we got away with that one now, Sarah, all right?
Oh, well.
Lads, the first Lions game is up on Friday night. They're facing Argentina in the Aviva. And I said Dara had a comment here earlier on, Sarah.
Yeah.
I said I was going to come to you from it. What does Sarah expect of Kinghorn from the Lions?
Answer carefully, Sarah. Answer
she's-
carefully.
We know we know the fullback.
Head filter mouth.
Sarah, as a fullback, we know what he can do, right? He can whip out those big hard tackles and really wreck inside. You know, we know he can do that, okay?
Go hard and go hard. Good lad. Go hard and go home.
Yeah. And he knows all about big tackles, doesn't he?
Yeah. He's not as good as he used to be.
I suppose it's softened to me.
Lads, we just fuck off, will we?
Yeah.
Yeah, well done.
Just let her. Just leave Sarah and Danny.
Yeah, just leave man.
I swear to God, I'm looking at my front window here. I'm half expecting the guards to drive into the driveway. Yeah, lads, 1 second. Were you watching the podcast?
Sorry, can I just finish up? I've only 19 minutes left and then I'll be with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you can scroll through the comments and stuff like that anyway.
Sarah's there with the jiggity fucking key there going, lads, come on.
Fuck's sake. I know. Look, we got your giggity in there. Are you happy now, okay?
Happy.
Yeah. Johan, yeah, I was supporting Leinster the weekend. Len, were you supporting Leinster the weekend?
Yeah.
I was supporting the Bulls. Yeah.
Well,
You believe it or not, Johan, Munster supporters do support Leinster when Munster can't win something. So,
we're Munster lads. Yes, we were. We were shouting for him. Absolutely, yeah. Another team, we were. Absolutely.
I mean,
testament. You only have to look at that group and testament to that. I actually probably was more pissed than the rest of you.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be hard.
No, Sarah,
I don't know what way to take that.
You take it whatever way you want, Len.
I'll have to pro and carry
Are
on.
we still being hard here, are we?
Oh, sorry.
What?
We've opened the can of worms here now.
There's I can hear folks saying that comment there.
Kinghorn tends to come from behind the attack line and fill the gaps in midfield.
No, Danny, you said that too quickly.
100%. You said it way
You
too
said that. You spoke that too quickly. You said that too quickly,
Good.
Danny.
Good.
In the spirit of Peter Burke, you'd say, Kinghorn, guys. Do you know the way Burke carries on the hat?
I'm not sure. I just made the fucking comment, all right? I'm like Ron Burton there, okay?
Shut up, Brosnan. Kinghorn tends to come from behind the attack line and fills the gap midfield.
That's a really
Sarah
good.
Duffy.
Nailed it.
What an impression.
Nailed it apart from Danny Brosnan fucking interrupting you.
Yeah, but that is normal. That is normal, though. That is normal. That's vintage.
No, Sarah, another one from Dara because you have to keep the gig content up to keep Dara happy. Does Sarah thinking King in France has made Kinghorn go soft?
It's all about. Oh Jesus! I nearly said something there. Probably shouldn't say it like.
Oh, you should.
Say it.
It's all about inspiration. It's all about building momentum and stuff like that. You know. No, the answer is no. We won't go soft. I don't know who else is watching.
You're right, Sarah. We already have an explicit rating on Spotify. You can work away.
Yeah, don't worry about it. We're already.
Hey, Matt, we're being completely outplayed. We were just fucking around.
Sarah, in case you didn't already know, there's global reach now. Proper global reach.
Yes.
Exactly. So people are going to watch this.
Hot team's coming into my driveway any minute now. Two split dragging on behind.
Hey Matt, we were getting berated for the odd fuck here and there, and this has just turned into a smut show. Like, you know what I mean?
That's it.
Yeah.
Poor Len there is embarrassed.
Yeah. Brendan Kennedy in there. Anytime an Irish team beats a South African team, it's a fantastic day. That's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now go argue with that.
Unlike many other occasions. So
Yeah, and of course, when there's trophy involved as well, it makes it that little bit sweeter.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, it's always better if it's Munster that beat the South African team in the final, but you're here. They can't have everything.
Yeah, but like we have an Irish side beating a South African side, so fuck it.
Yeah, we'll have to take that.
Yeah, we'll take that one anyway. Jeez. Right, let's, since the URC season has finished up, we still have the Lions games coming up, and we have 2 tests from the Irish teams against Georgia and Portugal. We know Finlay Bealham has been brought up to the Lion squad because of the injury. And former guest on the Thursday night show was Jack Ainger was brought up to the Irish squad. Do you think that Irish squad, I'll come to you first in this one, Sarah, do you think that Irish squad that was named for the 2 tests against Georgia and Portugal, do you think we'll see a lot of those lads come up into the Irish squad to fill the gaps of likes of O'Mahony, Murray, Healy down the line somewhere?
Yeah, I do. Like, they're massive units to fill in those names you've just mentioned. Massive units. But I think Finlay Bealham, I think he's a great player for Munster. Or Connacht, Munster. He's super, and I think he will add.
Massive units, yeah.
That's the Munster Thomas putting you off. Go on, carry on.
Yeah, go on.
It's on our brain now, you see. Look, Kinghorn, massive unit.
Oh, Matt, we're the cult. We slowly brainwash you. We just get you around our way of thinking.
I'm so easily brainwashed.
If you understand then that way before.
The messages just being pulsed out here the whole time.
He's going to start using words like penetrate and trust next, for fuck's sake.
No, I wouldn't do that.
With your pulse, go way out of that.
But you need to pull back that and knows how to penetrate that line.
Oh, stop it.
And really get in there deep, properly deep,
Oh my Jesus. Is this like Pornhub or something like this? What the fuck?
I won't be uploading it onto fucking Spotify.
I'm talking rugby.
No.
Anyway, yes, I do. I think they're going to be great additions to the teams, and those particular tests will show whether they're in or they're not. You know, I think they'd need to get more test rugby underneath their belts, though, to give them a permanent place on the Irish team, on the Lions team as well. Though, you know, they're kind of hit and miss, like what Sam Prendergast did at the weekend. You know.
Yeah,
he really is. He's earned his spot as well. Finlay Bealham, he's earned his spot there, 100%.
Matt, your thoughts on the Irish squad name? Do you think some of those players will start coming up to fill the gaps left by the lads that have retired? Matthew?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I mean, like in off seasons or off games or summer tours or something or anything like that, they need to start blooding young players. So, and as you've said, like with the lads retiring, there's spots available. The only way to fill them spots is get lads up to test game experience and get them out playing proper matches during the summer when you can develop teams, and that's the only way to do it. So yeah, best of luck. I mean, there's lots of guys there on that tour that are new, will be capped first. So yeah, looking forward to seeing how they do. I mean, I'm not entirely sure about Casey as captain, but anyway, look, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think last time Casey was captain of an Irish side was the Ireland A team, and that was against the New Zealand 15 in November 22. That's the last time, I think, as far as I know, he was captain of any Irish squad anyway. Peter Martin, your thoughts on the Irish squad and the players maybe coming in to fill up the gaps? Do you think the right choices were made?
Yeah, well, I think the likes of Ryan Baird is he seems to be the heir apparent to the 6th jersey left over by Pom, and the fact that he was man of the match, he was outstanding again. And that's 2 weeks in a row now. He's got player of the match. I think he's finally, perhaps, I think there's an opportunity there for him on this summer tour to really grab that jersey with both hands and make it his, I would suggest. He's finally, Baird has been spoken about for a couple of seasons, saying, look, he's this freak athlete. He's one of the quick, fastest players, if not the fastest player in the Irish squad. And he's added on the few bits and pieces to his game to bring him to the next level. And he's to get the player of the match, man of the match award 2 consecutive games, for a semi-final and final. That's massive confidence boost for him. Now, he's going to bring that with him to the Portugal game and the Georgia game, depending on which one or if he's selected for both. Plus, I would imagine as well, he's going to be a leadership figure for that squad as well, given that, there's 15 or so Irish players, most of them Leinster, with the Lions. So he's going to be, if Casey's there as the tour captain, you can be sure that Baird is definitely going to be there as a vice captain and in the leadership group. So look, there's a massive opportunity there. Cian Healy's gone as well. There has to be another, second or third choice loose head there behind Porter. They've brought a number of hookers like Rob Herring, I think misses out, but at the end of the day, they've got young Stephen Smith and they've got Gus McCarthy going as well. There's opportunity for a number of players there to really kind of, not let the incumbents, get too comfortable, and that's what you want. Nobody needs to be comfortable in their jersey. The only player perhaps who could be or should be comfortable at this stage before he got injured was Caelan Doris. Apart from that, everybody needs to feel a bit of discomfort, because that's what drives standards. That's what basically brings guys on to the next level, and that's what we want to see.
Yeah. Now, there's a very good point here by Dara, and he makes a good one here. Says, hold on there, Danny. He says Porter has filled the gap that Cian Healy left long ago. Now we need a younger prop to understudy Porter.
Porter,
How often was Cian Healy on the bench, named on the bench as the substitute loosehead to Andrew Porter? So that's why I'm saying, he's been there for so long that we needed maybe replacing a little bit earlier, but it took a while anyway. Len, your thoughts on the players that are named in the squad to take over the likes of Healy, O'Mahony, and Murray? Three big names going. You think a few lads will
ask Pete all the questions now, because he's only one any sense. The rest was all just fucking about. Again, I have to agree with Pete yet again. Look, Beelan was an omission in the Lions, and I'm delighted that he eventually got called up.
Yeah,
I think he's had a fantastic season, and he's been growing season on season. He deserves to be there. I hope he gets a couple of test matches with a bit of luck. As for the Irish squad, Jack Ainger, I think he's been very, very good. There's one or two omissions. Casey is captain. Look, as a Munster man, it's great to see a Munster man getting captain. I don't know. Well, we'll have to wait and see on Casey. He gives his all. I'll give him that, and he's had a great season. And maybe he deserves it, but yeah, look, I'm kind of in two minds about it.
I would say, Len, that it's a reward for him, because he'd been playing the best rugby of his career up until he got injured, and I think they've basically the management have decided they have long memories, and they're just basically given that to give him that bit of confidence and so on. That's just my tuppence worth on that.
Yeah, great point. Again, the only one making sense. Yeah, I know it is. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. So.
Don't hold me to that.
We'll hold you to that.
I had the brain cells to figure that one out myself. Yeah, that is actually a very good point. Look, I sometimes I'm not I'm not too fond of sentimentality in selection, but yeah, look, in fairness, it's not a do or die. We're not heading into World Cup. Yeah. So yeah, giving him the captaincy is not a big thing. And look, hey, he could make the captaincy his own. Who knows? He could be an excellent. Yeah. He is a good leader. He is a good leader. I will give him that. and he drives guys on the pitch. And like last number of matches that he's played, so he's come back from injury. He is in a number of matches. He has led from the front at all stages. So yeah, look, hopefully we'll see what happens.
Sarah, how much gin in that bottle do you have?
Oh, it's actually electrolytes. I swear to God, gin and tonic flavored electrolytes. I know it's not.
It is Guinness flavored electrolytes.
No.
It's the best ones you can have sometimes. Shirley thought in there as well. Finley Great Clare delighted to get his spot in the Lions. We have James Grennan. He has decided to pester the people with French, so he started dead jokes. The only quick thing is, can he translate them into French? James Grennan well said then read Beatham's call up. And also congratulating Leinster on their win the weekend.
He's just a big fucking lick, is what Grennan is. He's a big lick because Connacht have got Lancaster, so he's just kissing. He's just sucking up and kissing arse. Go on or that, Grennan. Go tell a fucking straight joke to some Frenchman down the street and see if they're laughing at you.
Crokin here that have to say super short tonight. Take a bow paddle, joined with a smile and laughed all the way through. Need you on the show more often, Sarah. Innuendo rocks. So yeah, Sarah, every Monday night now after a game, you will be on more often. Okay.
Sarah went to a good Catholic school, a convent run by nuns.
I went to boarding school actually run by nuns. Believe it or not, it did.
I wonder yard now. So.
Greg taking a break from the dad joke saying James Duffer is back. Welcome back to the show.
Thanks, James.
Let's see. But that's because we were in danger of burning out Porter and had no other viable option to heal it. Fair point. Palm also needed till the end. Murray kept Casey out of Ireland squad for too many matches.
Yeah, I agree with the last thing. You did.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But I suppose it's like the old saying goes, time and tide wait for no one. So the lads are gone now, and I suppose this is the perfect opportunity for them to see what rotations you can get in for them anyway.
Yeah, but on that, I think there's a lot of leaders in the likes of Paul O'Mahony that are gone. You may be up to the same playing ability in the same position. Yeah, doesn't mean you're a leader though. There's very few people I think will be that dog that O'Mahony. And look, hopefully they will. That was one of the things about Leinster at the weekend. We were talking there a couple of weeks ago about maybe they're too nice. But geez, they weren't nice at the weekend. You know what I mean? They just foot on the throat and they didn't let up, which was good to see, especially from an Ireland point of view.
Dara in there, the French have no sense of humour. Grennan will do well there. In other words, Dara, you want to stay in France and let them have it. Let's see.
You're absolutely more than welcome to keep him over there.
Yeah. Oh, Shirley, Shirley and Sarah, you two sisters are staying together. Never change, Sarah. That's the word from Shirley Thornton. Never change, Sarah.
The mother says never get arrested, Sarah. Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, I mean, just keep it just on the grey side of legal, all right, where you have some bit of a chance, okay?
No
to
more
walk away.
I know that much for one thing.
Or you're not going to have a very good excuse, okay, for what you're doing. Okay?
I don't want to sound like Jake White. I've no excuse.
Sarah, just come down to Kerry for a week or two. You'll have more excuses than you know what to do for, all right? And they're all available in no time.
Never come back alive. Back in a box.
Don't worry, and make sure it's the DHL box and put your husband's name on it, all right? It's easy to smuggle you out with the county, all right?
Return to sender.
Huh?
Return to sender.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Lads, we've 30 seconds left for the show, but what I'll do is I'll call it tonight. I'm supposed to be back next Monday night to review the Lions-Argentina game. That's live on Chicaros, I think, on this side, and it's on S4C as well.
I'll be there.
Yeah. Will you?
Yeah.
Fair
Ah.
play.
Thank
Oh,
God.
yeah. Are you putting the Peter Burton going on the press box?
Absolutely no. You mad? They wouldn't let me in there. Fucking hell.
Absolutely not. They wouldn't let
Hey, look, if they leave Burke in there, they'll probably leave you in there, all right?
He's a bit more fucking. He's a bit more respectable than I am. I'd never get in there. Fucking not a chance.
But lads, I suppose what we'll do is, and lady,
Thanks.
until the next Monday night, I suppose, Matt, Sarah, Len, Peter, until next time, good night. Take
Is
care.
anybody
And
else
don't be
press
having you all
lads that
on,
the
all right?
URC and Heineken Cup is finished? No.
Night, folks.
See you
Good
soon.
luck.
See you later.
Yeah.
Thanks. Bye. Bye.